Hello, ladies. Welcome back to Sports and Mimosa. I'm back here in 2026, back here with Meredith, and we're getting ready to talk about some sports. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. I felt like that was really country. How are you?
Good Texas in you.
Right. I wanted you to make feel like in your extended home.
Yes.
So,
Blending in together.
yes. So obviously we've been away for a minute. I know I sent out an email like we're kind of like rebuilding things back and it's just been a crazy time. But we did want to jump on as we're rebuilding. We did want to jump on for this because we are in a crazy time of sports and in a good mix of things coming into the new year. So we have college football playoffs happening. We have the NFL playoffs happening, but then we also have this week was Black Monday. We'll get into that. A lot of changes happening. But then even on the NBA side, we're almost halfway through the season. All Star Weekend, which is in February, is halfway through the season. But there have been some shakeups, and they're kind of what we experienced last year with our team. So we're gonna
I'm
dive
last year.
right. um, so there's quite a bit happening within sports, and we wanted to come back in because you guys know that football is one of our favorites, and it's the NFL playoffs time, Wildcard Weekend. So we wanted to dive into that and kind of chat on that, and we've been on the side and we're like, oh my God, this is happening, and just with the firing of coaches, we're like, what? So
Let's
we
just
want
say
to
we had one agenda this time last week, and that all just went
yeah.
out the door because of what happened in the last 7 days. So,
Right.
fresh
We're only,
show.
we're only 8 days into the new year, and a lot has happened.
Yes.
So we're going to jump in to our first segment, which is Foul or Fair. We kind of started this last year, our last episode that we did. But this is where we kind of dive in and talk about certain stories happening, things that are happening within certain of the leagues. Is it fair or is it foul? What are our thoughts on that? There's been lots and lots of talk around this, so we're gonna jump into the NFL, which is, like I said, one of our favorites. Just a little bit background that Black Monday happened on this Monday that just passed. So what was that? The fifth, and that is right when regular season of the NFL ends before the playoffs. So everyone gets set. So whoever was playing to clinch into the NFL into the playoffs had their game. And then that following Monday is when coaches usually get fired and there's a lot of changes in the front office space. And so there has been a lot of shakeups and a lot of surprises that have happened in these last 7 days. Um, and shockingly, only 25% of the teams in the NFL, I think at one point, I don't know if it's still six or seven teams, are looking for head coaches now. So, which is crazy. Um, and some of the big names that I think started kind of our firing of text was John Harbaugh. I don't know if I say his name correctly, but for the Ravens, they just had a crazy game with the Steelers on Sunday, I believe it was.
It was
Uh,
Sunday.
yeah, down to the wire. And so obviously both teams were playing to get into the wild card, into the playoffs to play this weekend. They lost at
By
the
a field
last
goal.
seconds. Yeah. Because of the kicker. We'll get into that. And the next Monday, I think it was Monday that he
It
got
was
hit.
Monday.
Yeah, because some coaches, like one just got fired today, Mike Daniels, um, from the Miami Dolphins. But anyway, John got fired, and he had been the coach for 18
Wait,
years.
Tuesday. Sorry, I
Tuesday?
texted you
Okay,
Tuesday. It was
Tuesday.
Harbaugh. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like there's some big name coaches
Oakland, no. Pete was Monday.
Monday. So my
I was
Oakland
like, we've
Raiders.
texted every day
Yeah.
with something like this.
There
This.
was a text every day. It was like if I didn't see the news and I see Mary, uh-oh, what was happening?
I'm your ESPN alert before you get it.
Yes. So Oakland, the Raiders, they got Pete Carroll. This was his first full season. He's won a Super Bowl with Seattle. He was a big coach at USC for many years. First year under, and he got fired because obviously the Raiders didn't do well. They didn't make the playoffs, but he got fired. But to go back to our original about the John first, after the Ravens game on Tuesday, he got fired. He was the coach for the Ravens for 18 years, 18 seasons. He won a Super Bowl with them. They've been to like the playoffs every year. I think this was the first year,
This is
maybe.
the first one they've missed since like
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
But like,
Um,
wasn't Lamar hurt that year? Like something, but like they've
Lamar was
been,
hurt this year.
but like what was so surprising, because I do feel like for the longest time, or I mean, you have like the Bills and you have this like crew, but Lamar's already like the Ravens are always in that top
Hmm.
of the AFC. I feel like they're always there with, I don't feel like Lamar gets the same attention, or no, he does because he's like MVP. But like I think like Bills, there are other like the Chiefs
Yeah.
before this year, like the Ravens have always been in the conversations of that. They haven't walked away the winner in a while, but they have always been in
In
contention.
there. Yeah.
And John Harbaugh's coaching, I think, plays a really big. I mean, like he's 18 seasons. Like I would have thought, like personally, are you so like what's like fair or foul that like are we saying
Is
like
it fair or foul that they let him go? Like, how many
I
more years could you possibly have had?
first of all, his contract I think was supposed to go until 2028.
Yeah.
So like he had and like honestly, that's probably when he was gonna retire. He was probably gonna be like 20 something years. Okay, bye. Thank you all so much. Like
Because
so
I
I
think
think
Bill Belichick stayed till 21 years, and then he
yes, like
left.
and, well,
Or,
that deserves its own fair or foul
but still, and he
episode.
was a big
But
coach.
like, and like you
Yeah.
think about, so like actually that's a really good conversation. Like the Ravens have been pretty like controversy free. Like I think that
Except for Lamar
I mean
being hurt.
like you know what I mean? Yes. Like I feel like that I really am just like surprised because I really saw him like finishing out his career there. I think after 18 seasons, why wouldn't you? And I think that obviously I think it's foul because
Yeah.
like, I like a good like let him finish it out, man. Like he's been with you this long. But I also see that they're like, okay, maybe this is the year, like maybe this is the time to change it. But I also think like it's not like, and I'm gonna do a little Venn diagram and laugh. It's not like they had a year like the Cincinnati Bengals where we knew like they were one of the first teams that we knew were out of the playoffs
Yeah.
like in November. Like we knew
At
they
the
weren't
end.
coming. Joey B, like my y'all know that is just I I will always love Joe Burrow. And my man is hurt. My man is sad. My man just wants to win. And they freaking kept Zach Taylor, and they had a terrible record. Meanwhile, over here in Baltimore, they're playing for the wild card a week early, but like they're still in contention. We kind of had a conversation before we press record that like it was a crazy year this year that it came down to like one game, like down to the bottom. Like no one really stood out this year. So the
Yeah.
fact that we felt so bad for the Ravens because it literally came, like their season came down to a kick when like the Steelers weren't having the best year either. Like it's the fact that the Ravens had a decent year. So for this to be the first time that they've missed since 2021, like, and maybe like, I have COVID brain, so maybe like distortion of the years isn't, but like
No.
I feel like 5 years, the second time you're missing, or like 4 years, whatever the math is, comms major, like that wasn't that bad. So like meanwhile, like the Bengals are like, yeah, let's give Zach Taylor
I know.
another chance. And like Joey B is like, get me out of here. I don't want to be here. Like I want to win. I love winning. My mental health, like literally giving all the Andrew Luck signs here. And they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep our coach. That's how we're gonna do it. That's how we're gonna treat our number one
Right.
draft pick. And then you have Harbaugh, who has invested 18 years, has won remotely off season, still has a great quarterback. Like, I can't even imagine, like,
Because
this is the time you're going to rebuild? This is the time where, like,
Lamar
I don't
just
think,
came back,
yes,
like from an injury.
yes.
Like he was
And
only
I
like
think we
the
think
second game.
about there are going to be other organizations that we'll talk about that have clearly some in house drama that is seeping into all factors of the game. They seem to have it well together. Like, it was a bad year. Lamar was hurt. Let's fix some things. So I think the fact that seeing that happen to someone who's given 18 years of their life to this organization, who's done a fairly good job, like won a Super Bowl, and it hasn't been like a Super Bowl or but like he's been in the contention. There's been conversations. Like, who did Lamar lose to? Like, I think he lost to the Chiefs or Joe. Like, he's gotten them to there.
Yeah,
Like, they've been in the playoff conversation for a very long time. So I think that that is just wild to me that so that's a foul. I definitely give that one a foul because to compare it to like
yeah.
yeah, I'm like, this
I think
dude,
I think
this is the time I'll
also,
rebuild when things aren't really that broken. When you have
but
other organizations where it's like,
and it's like rebuilding. Who are you gonna get that's better than John when everyone is saying like
he
coaches,
knows that
everything
organization.
is saying that he was the best coach. And so because and I also feel like this is kind of foul, like when you fire I think we're in the era where it's like you want instant stuff. Like, oh no, we should
Yes.
be winning
But
because
you, oh,
oh
so you're gonna take away the coach who knows your system. Like, you think
who's
no
been
one's gonna
working
go
with
in there and
Lamar.
bring it back
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No. Yeah, and especially for 18 years and those guys,
Yes.
like you're messing up everything within that organization from
That's a
like
rooted. That is a
yeah,
rooted.
yeah, that's
Again,
every
Miami's
system.
like rooted, and you're just like, ah, we're gonna uproot all of
And like
this, and it's
and the
like,
thing is it's not
you
like
think
he
you're gonna win next year? Okay.
It's not like he got out coached in that game too. It was an error by the player. Like he
Yes.
missed the kick. Like it was neck and neck, both him and Tomlin. And we said that like this was I never thought that we would see on Black Monday like Mike Tomlin or John Harbaugh getting fired. Like or
Like,
Andy Reid.
fired. Like, not
Like
even like
those two
retired.
are
Like,
saved.
fired.
Yeah, yeah. Like I never thought that those would be on the list. So when I heard John, I was like, "What? Like
I
who does
literally
that?"
texted you, and I was like, dude.
Yeah, like I think that's so foul to like it's not like he didn't do a good job coaching. It was a player. And sometimes you can coach all you can, but if the player doesn't follow through for whatever reason going on with that player,
Yeah.
how do you because everyone else did their job. Like he really missed it. And we were talking about the wind. There's a lot of factors when it comes to a kicking. Like that's really hard. And if you watch, and people say like, oh, it's so easy. You only had one job. But we see that, which I love College Game Day because Pac McAfee, who is on College Game Day, was a kicker. He has a segment on that show where
Hard.
co- college kids get random picked, and there's a person that wins a lottery that gets to kick a field goal for $100,000, $500,000, and it seems easy because I think they do it a little bit closer than what the actual game requires. I think closer than the 30-yard line, but they miss because it's so hard, and they don't have guys coming at them when they're kicking these like
That's what I do feel like we
football.
forget about the kicker. Like,
Yeah, and so
and
it's
all it
like
takes is a bad throw, and it takes like the
or
laces.
the
Like,
wrong
there's a
catch
lot
and
to
then
it.
not
Yes.
hitting it right. Like there's a certain way to hold it. Like it's a whole lot of factors.
Factors. There are factors.
Yeah.
And
And so for a coach to for him to get fired over that, like I can see if like they were just horrible that whole game, but it literally came down to it. Like they were losing. Aaron turned on his best and came back. You know what I mean? But was like we said, like you said, was he playing the best the whole season? Like no, who would have thought the Steelers?
yeah.
After Aaron's year with but then that goes to show you like that's Mike as a coach. Tomlin is the coach of the Steelers. So I think that's foul that they fired John one and then that coaches do get fired sometimes when it's a player thing and not
Yeah.
like a coaching thing. It's not like they just sucked all season and like
Yeah.
you could tell they were bad coach. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
no, it was like this was the thing.
Yeah. That
Um
firing gets a foul for me. Yeah.
yes. So some other fires that or firings that happened was we mentioned Pete Carroll, which
Which is wild to me because
with the Raiders,
it was 1 year.
like when you, and then they fired Antonio Davis
Oh yeah.
the year before, and he only had 1 year. So then it
I'm
becomes like,
sorry. Y'all know I'm gonna find a way to do it. Tom Brady's doing
and
something.
we know that Tom Brady's in our front office. I'm saying ours for the Raiders, and he has his hands on operation. But I'm just like, there is some, and I love my Raiders, like for real, a ride or die. But then there comes something when you're always complaining about, or you can't find a man, but it's always yourself. You know what I mean? Like every date is wrong, or every person is wrong in your life at work. But it's like you have to look at yourself. So it's like looking at the front office or the the op the organization. Like what's going on that if we have the best coaches, but we still can't win, like have a winning season, like what is
Yeah.
it? We're kind of like the Browns, like why the Browns can
Listen.
never get it going. And I don't think they fire their
Did
coach?
they? I was like, were they? I think they
I think
did.
they did fire their coach
Which is terrible. But I'm like,
because I was like, if
that
they didn't
one's
fire their
that
coach,
one's
and
been bad. That
if
one's
they
just
didn't
been
fire their
bad.
coach and they didn't fire their coach,
Right?
but another big one that hit today was the Miami coach, McDaniels, who was a popular person for a while because he was like one of the youngest and just he was equipment manager at one point and really worked his way up to head coach. But like you alluded to at the beginning, like some of that locker room and just the organization seemed to be
So I
another
can't
story.
remember what happened. But like I remember like week one there was drama with Miami. Like already they're like we're having meetings about this, like no coaches meetings, and it's like, bruh, it's week two. Like what's
Did you
happening?
see where that
And
Tyreek got in trouble, like arrested on the side before the game?
something, yeah,
Was that
yeah,
this
Google
year?
that.
I
Cause
think
I
so.
remember, and I think this one's been wild because I loved me some Mike McDaniel a couple of years ago. Like he was the fresh one. He was the one like joking around in press conferences. Like he had that kookiness. And I remember somebody did like that like over like time kind of thing, like how he just like became like Miami and
Yeah.
like was like just
Oh, like his
and
attire and stuff.
yes, like how it started and like how it ended.
Hmm.
And I I have to say I'm surprised about the firing, but like not at the same time because again, they started this year chaotic, and like I told you this, I know you like them, but like Tua's a mess, like and how they've handled him's a mess.
Yeah.
Like then you think, and maybe like Miami's just a mess. Like I feel like how do you like coach this team when like your
Right.
backyard is what it is? Like I don't, but
Well,
like
the college team is doing good, and their backyard is in Miami.
maybe, you know, maybe.
Right.
And, but like, I think that you sit here, like, I am very surprised it fell as soon as it did, because like they were high and then it just, woo,
Yeah, it was like out of nowhere,
they
like
just were bad.
yeah.
Like,
Like,
and
what
not
happened?
like, yes, like just like bad, like not, and again, how they've handled too with the concussions and just, but like, I feel like they were just because of how the season started, he probably did have a target on his back
Yeah.
the whole time. So I think that one, I wouldn't say, I don't want to be like, oh, it's fair, but like that one's not as bad as like
It's not as
Harbaugh.
surprising as,
Um,
yeah.
yes, it was just kind of like, bruh, you kind of didn't show that you had a grip on your team like before the season even started. So
Yeah.
like it was
'Cause
probably
wasn't
best
his
to be
roommate
like, we got to
Tyreek
get out of
wasn't
this.
happy for a minute, like at the beginning? Like he was talking like,
Yeah.
was
Oh,
that?
yeah. And they started having. Wait, yes, because sorry, it's like all coming back to me because like Tua would make like these weird comments in the press con
Yeah.
like
It's like,
whatever,
you
and then Mike
can't
would have
not
his
come
own
out.
thing, and I'm like, again, just as drama as like Real Housewives, but like, and like so. with it was just kind of like again when you it's great for entertainment, but when
Right.
you think about it, you're
Right.
like, bruh, you
Not if
probably
you're a
need to like
fan of that
sort this
team.
out, like
Yeah, not if you're a fan
because
of that. You're
you
like,
got a game in 4 days, so maybe y'all need to.
let's keep that in house, y'all. Okay.
Yes, like that's there's these are the times where you just want to be like have a woman in the room, like
Yeah. Mm-mm.
no,
Give that like mama look. You are not saying that right now.
you're gonna be like, what did I tell you? Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk to you when this camera stops. I'm gonna talk to you.
They need
Yeah.
what's her name from the Colts? She has a crazy look.
Yes.
That's another story because I haven't looked into that. She had a press conference. So she's one I can't think of her name. Is it Carly? I can't think right now. Still getting my life back together after the new year as this first year in the week. First week in the year. See, I can't even talk. But the owner of the Colts, I can't think of her name. I will tag it, but she kind of has taken like she was on the
Oh, she's been
sidelines
great.
during
Yeah.
every game because she was like, I want to know what's going on and I want to hear everything because if there's a problem with our players, like she understands
Yeah,
it. Some
she
people
wanted
don't
to
like
know
that.
if it was going to be them or if it was the coach
Hmm.
not doing the right play. Like she wanted to see,
She wanted
which is
firsthand,
wild.
but she
I mean,
had
they're
a
out of
press.
it, right? They're out
Yes,
of it. Well, I mean,
and
they
so
had
she,
Philip Rivers in there, so.
yeah, she had a yeah, that was kind of bold too. She brought in a grandpa, and he did okay though.
Wait! Oh my
But
God, sorry. Yeah, but go on. No, but I remember thinking we could talk about it later about the whole like
right.
Cam Newton conversation with that.
Oh yeah. Oh, we should
Yeah.
have put that in
Yes.
this. Oh, we can touch on that. But
Okay. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
she
the
had a
Miami needs her in there
yeah,
to be
she had a
like,
press conference though, and she said some comments that some people didn't like, and I haven't listened to that yet. So I'm gonna have to go
no, I
look at
haven't
that.
either.
So
I
we'll
haven't heard
share
that.
that. But but yeah, I don't think they had any firings. But there's a lot going on, and there I guess there still could be some more. Atlanta fired their coach. Um, I think that is pretty much all the people that got fired. I think there was like six or seven um, that got cut. Again, 25% of the teams do not have a coach. So all that to say too that John will find a place. John Harbaugh will find another place because somebody will scoop him up because he is a good coach.
Yeah.
So
And like just the wealth of knowledge in that,
yeah,
like
18 years. Like it's
I
just
always get excited because now this is how this if I was his wife, I would be like, "Hey, now you get a chance to have it on your record that you've beaten every NFL team. Like
yeah.
whoever you go next time if they play the Ravens, you have a chance to have beaten all of them."
But that would be
I
crazy
always
if
like when
he
people get to do that.
yeah, wherever he goes, if he wins a Super Bowl like next year.
Yeah,
Like,
big
like
F you.
Andy Reid wasn't with the Eagles for as long, but like he left and went to Kansas and then just did amazing. Like I
Yeah.
don't think he's a coach that will ever get fired. And they had, which we like cheered about. So sorry if you're a Kansas City fan, but they had the same record as the Saints.
Isn't that
And
just
that
that's a blessing. I don't care what
no,
anyone
yeah.
says.
So they
That
got
needed to happen.
they are sitting on the couch with all of us right
Thank
now.
God.
Well,
That's
maybe
always needed.
Travis is planning his wedding, but everybody else is sitting on the couch with us.
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
but so another fair or foul, I wanted to ask you. This kind of touches home. So if you haven't heard, yesterday, so trades are happening right now in the NBA. Yesterday, the Pelicans are playing the Atlanta Hawks, and I think it was halftime. It was sometime in the game. Trey was not playing though. He was sitting on the bench and he was in street clothes. I don't know if he was hurt or not, but he wasn't playing. But they probably saw this coming. He was traded to the Washington Wizards in the middle of the game. So they were winning because they beat the Pelicans, but he was traded for CJ McCollum, who used to be with the Pelicans. Traded for CJ to go up to the Washington, D.C. Wizards, but in the middle of the game. And so we experienced that. And I'm going to let you tell about how the coincidence of it. So we experienced it. We talked about it last year when Luca from the Mavs, who is Meredith's favorite, was traded to my Lakers, which I'm very happy with him right now because he did great against the Pelicans when they were here. For Anthony Davis switched teams, but that was in the middle of, I think one of them was in the middle of playing at the time, and one just finished or something.
I think I think AD was playing, or
Yeah,
like something was happening where like
it
he
was in
was
the
with the
middle of the game.
team.
Yeah, like it was one just finished playing or something, and one was in the middle of a game, and it was like, oh, they're
Middle of the
trading.
freaking night.
And that was a blockbuster trade. I mean, the Trey one isn't as big as that one, but it is big because Trey had been with Atlanta since he was
Well,
drafted.
one, I think that there was also, sorry, you can go.
No. Well, my question, I'll pose the question and then you can chime in. Is that fair or foul to trade in the middle of the game? What are your thoughts
I
on
think,
that happening as a fan because you've experienced? Well, and I have too, but you lost a
I
good one.
think, yeah, I was like, don't compare our experiences here. I think, well, one, I think what was so crazy about Luca's was one, it was in the middle of the night, and two, not a media person knew.
No one
Like
knew about
the
it.
Trey kind of situation was like we had a day to. I mean, again, it was like a Sunday with Luca or a Saturday. It was a Saturday night. Like, sorry, it still just brings me back. And we like, but I remember like the Trey one, like it had a day to simmer. I guess it was a busy, like it was during the week, so we had time to kind of be like, what's happening?
Hmm.
I think personally, and I know that like this is a deeper conversation for everything, but like these, we're betting with these men's lives. Like in the middle of the
Yeah.
game, they're just like, yeah, you can leave because you're in an, like, I think that like there is something like just shady about that. Like I think there's something just like, and then like one, who wants to go to freaking Washington D.C.? Like, I think it's like crazy to do the parallels of what Luca and Trey were for that class. They like I
So they were traded, they were drafted the same night and
after
they
this
were
event, and then they were
traded.
traded. And then both of them were like the fact that these franchises have given up on these people for like before they're 30. The Athletic did a really interesting piece about like they haven't even like gotten to where like, and again the whole Luca thing was just insane because it was going to the freaking Lakers who like didn't have any problems. Like I feel like I'd be
And
really
Luka
pissed if I
wanted
was
to
Trey right
stay.
now because I'd be like, you're sending me where? You're
But
sending
they
me
said that
where?
he wanted to go. Like he wanted to leave. He was ready to leave and he was
I think okay.
open
I think
to, like,
there's like
does
a
he really want to go to Washington?
yes, like you
Yeah.
know. I think everyone's like, oh,
I
I'm open to
wonder.
leave, like whatever. But like then they bring you there, and you're like,
Was
I'm
that
sorry,
your
what?
first choice? Did you tell your agent? Yes. Or was it
And I
like I'm
think
ready?
that there, yeah, and like I think that there's like this. So one, I think just like short answer in the middle of the game, I think that's shady. I do think it's good that he at least knew it was probably coming, unlike Luca, who just built a house in
Yeah.
Dallas and all of this, and like that just not to like make it about me, but like that will just forever be a day that just lives in like sports infamy. Like I
Yeah.
remember like they did a wrap up for 2025 sports moments and it was Luca crying when he came back to the Mavs and
Yeah.
like that just as a Dallas person like this like Cooper Flag's great but like nothing Cooper Flag has not gotten to where Luca was like
And why
the
couldn't
fact that
Cooper
we're having
be
to
with
start all
Luca?
over.
Yeah, why couldn't they
Luca's
be together?
departure changed an entire sports culture in a city, and I'm literally a block away from the arena, and I can see just how different it is. And I think, and maybe I don't feel like Trey. I don't. I hope he has what Luca is having in LA because I do think it was shady. I think to do that to a talent who still is fairly in their prime again is just I
And
think foul.
I think it, like, I find it foul in that teams, again, like with the NFL, like things are just so instant right now, like instant gratification. No one's like building on it. like when you had franchise players, you built around them. Like Kobe didn't leave, and like even before Kobe, like you bring in to build around that player if like there
People
was
want those
problems.
franchise players. You had the Dirk, you
Yeah.
had like Larry Bird and
You have
Magic.
to,
Like they
yeah.
like people want loyalty. I think that that's what's so crazy now is that they try to spin it like, oh, the players don't want to stay, and it's like, the ones you want to stay, you're freaking getting rid of. So like, you
And then
can't.
did you as an organization do what you needed to? Because yes, everyone wants to win. Like you don't go to that level and be that high on the level. Like there may be some guys are like, hey, yeah, I love ball and this is a career path for me. And maybe if I don't win, okay, because I'm here to play ball. But like I think
Yeah.
on Trey's level, on Luca's level, you want to win. So like did the organization do what they could to provide for them? And I feel like with Luca, and even though it's been a year, like it's still a big topic, I think,
So, and
because
what people like forget about the Luca thing was like Clay left Golden State because he wanted to go play
he,
with Luca. Like things happened before Luca that people were
um, or
like
Kyrie,
Kyrie, like we had
yeah.
people like, and you just got rid, and they're like,
And then what if you
why the
brought
hell
in
do you
flag
think we're
on top
here?
of that
Yeah.
with him there? But I feel like even with that, so like I think Trey wanted to leave because he wasn't happy where he was. Because I think there was talk like last year. So yes, he wanted to leave, but it's sad that they didn't build around him. I think with Luca, one it was secretive, but then I feel like it was like a parent made the couple break up because the fans didn't want him to go and he didn't want to go. Like so it was like parents came in and pulled it apart because why else would you? It's not like your fans were like, we're not
It's like
coming to
when
the
you want to
game
have a
anymore.
sleepover and your parents come and get them, and they're like, no,
Yeah.
can't sleep over, and you're like, we were gonna build a fort. We were gonna do all these great things together, and
We're
just
just
took it
having
away.
fun.
Yeah, we just want to have fun.
So yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. I think I guess it's good for city wise. I'm not saying organizations because like who would want to go to Washington D.C. especially this time, like you said. CJ gets to go to Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta is has a lot going on. But we'll see if there's any other big trades coming in who does what they need to do to get someone. Drafts will be happening in April. Um, so we'll see what happens within the NBA. But that was just one big thing
The
that happened
trade
last
deadline's
night.
not up yet, so we still have
No.
who
So we
knows
have
what can
time.
happen.
We might have another secret one out there.
Can't go to sleep. Can't go to sleep until then.
We might have another secret
Sleep
one.
with
I
one
don't know.
eye open.
Your favorite player on your team might
No one is safe.
get moved. Um, so the last thing kind of want to get our topic in. It's another big topic that has been talked about. We mentioned that the college football is happening right now, currently today. So we had our bowl games New Year's Eve leading up to New Year's and New Year's Day, and now the playoffs starting today. These bowl games are the playoffs to lead in, which is this is a whole nother story too. But there's four teams in this that I would have never thought would be in the playoffs, and there's some teams that aren't in there. So you have Oregon and the University of Indiana playing tomorrow, I think, and then or Saturday, one of those, and then tonight is the University of Miami and Ole Miss. So our both of them have great storylines. We'll see what happens. Currently, Miami is up. It's back in the third quarter. But the big story that ended the college regular season was Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss to go to LSU. They're both in the SEC, but LSU is a bigger market and a bigger dream job for any coach. And he got that opportunity after Brian Kelly was fired. But Lane pretty much picked this whole team that is, well, he did pick this whole team that is playing. He has had a great year with Ole Miss. He was willing to play, to continue to coach for the playoffs if they made it in because he left to go to LSU before they knew they were going to make it into the playoffs. But they were going to go to a bowl game, even if they didn't go to the playoffs. They would have had a good bowl game. He accepted the job. That is another story too, because my favorite guy, Nick Saban, that the way the calendar works is the fact that you can do the transfer portals open and coaches can switch jobs in the middle of bowl games being announced and playoffs is crazy because why would you need more stress on top of you trying to play in a game? So Lane Kiffin accepts the job. Ole Miss front office says, no, you're not going to coach. The players did want him to coach, but it's a
So,
big if.
okay, but like, did they? Because now all these players are coming
Well,
out saying, like, that's not what we said.
well, so they said, the media said at the time that the players were for it. And like Nick Saban said, like it does suck to lose your coach that has been leading you at a time like that. You know what I mean? So my question is it fair that Ole Miss did not let Lane Kiffin coach? Now, to throw in though, yes, he may want to coach, but within his deal with LSU, each stage that Ole Miss goes to, he still gets his bonus. So when Ole Miss made it to this round that they're playing tonight, the semifinals, Lane was here at Baton Rouge going to the LSU and Kentucky women's basketball game, but it was also the first night. The next day was the first day that transfer portal opened. He got, I think, $500,000
Yep.
just for them making it. So, is it fair that they did not let him coach? Is my question to you as an LSU fan.
Okay, one, I don't like Lane Kiffin. I think he's just like a little
And he used
drama
to
little
coach for
man.
USC too, so I'm okay with
Well,
him.
okay, like this is, I think he's,
It's okay not to like him.
would I want to like hang out with him? Probably not.
You
Like, I
wouldn't
think
want to go
I'd
to
like,
yoga with him.
that would be a perfect thing for me to do with him. I would be like, great, we are timed. Nice chat. How you doing? Okay, gotta go to work. Have a great week. See you the next lap. Like that would be what I. That's the interaction I'd probably have with Lane Kiffin.
Hmm.
That, and I still remember like all the buzz and everything. Do I think he is the perfect pick for LSU? Absolutely, because we're different down here. I'm
And Nick
up now, but
Saban,
I'm like they're different down there, and we
you're still from
we don't care what you do. You can eat grass. You
as long as
can
you're in.
not have any enunciation with your voice. If you get us W's, great, just cool. Like just do your job, and we'll be fine. We'll embrace you how you are if you get those W's. And Lane puts us on the map. Lane does all these things. I think if I like wonder if like some things bled into the other, like the fact that like it was strung out, like the fact that that Marty guy with SEC was just like stuck at Ole Miss for an entire Saturday, not knowing
Oh, I
what was
know.
happening, and like I think when there's like all these reports that Ole Miss knew, like apparently Lane Kiffin's son was enrolled at U High that Tuesday before everything got like people knew it was happening. So the fact that like Ole Miss acted like they didn't know was kind of like this is going to be a messy breakup no matter what. That I think so like I so because of what I've been exposed to, some of the players act like they don't want to have anything to do with him, but like he's still their coach. Like I do think sorry, blah, 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 that if they were not doing well, it would be a different conversation. If they were not doing well without Lane, it would be a very like y'all should have let Lane coach. Y'all should have let Lane coach like this whatever. And I think and I'm not saying that this is because of Lane or without Lane. They are doing really well. So I think a lot of people are kind of very like we didn't really need him.
Yeah.
So is it really that unfair? Because like we're like look how well we're doing without him. So I think that how they're doing without him is adding to the conversation of like I don't know if it's fair or not. I think Lane's been the best way that he could, how he's like letting assistant coaches go and like do their thing. Did something happen today? Stephen A. Smith was saying that like are some not allowed to coach today? Is that what happened today? Like something I just saw it and my
Or Ole Miss?
not getting. Yeah, I thought Stephen A. Smith said something that he was like, "That's selfish" or whatever. So
I
I don't
didn't.
know. I'm not on social media, so I had to
Yeah,
post my
I've
Pilates
been
story and I saw that and I had to X
I've
out.
been tuned out today, but I think that the interim coach is coaching, like who's
Okay.
been coaching since Lane left,
Okay.
unless it's someone maybe on like
Like
a
another level, maybe.
yeah
Yeah.
coaching.
But I think it was, I don't know. I feel like there's like this like weird line that I need to choose. That I get it. I get like the longer that he's with the, actually, just formed a thought. I think if it was anybody else,
He would have coached.
they probably would have coached. Because I
Yeah.
do think someone like Lane Kiffin, this is not a
Wait,
bad
do
thing
you
or a
think
good
it's
thing.
Lane or if it was another school that he went to?
I
Yeah,
think
another coach, you're saying?
I think a different coach. I think
Okay,
any other school doesn't matter. I think any other coach,
a coach.
they probably would have let him. But I think because of what the game has become now, someone with the influence that Lane Kiffin has, that the longer he was with people, if anything happened, whether or not he talked to them or not, if anyone switched over, it would have became a bigger story and a bigger mess, and it would have been like all these legal lines or whatever. So I think there's a part of me that's like, I think it's fair given with what could have come, whether or not it was his influence or not, what is happening whenever this is over. If
Hmm.
people are coming over, if people are staying, I bet I do think there might be a few changes. Some are probably keeping mum. I think some people are set, but like if I have an
Yeah.
opportunity to go learn with LA, like go to Lincoln,
Well,
like so I
I
do think like that's where I think it's fair because of what the threat that he
become
poses, whether or not he really is that threat. I'm not
yeah.
saying that he is, but I think of what he represents and what he has, what he could possibly take away from that anytime that he is exposed to that team, other staff members, anything else. Not saying that he's like not texting them without like like he still
Yeah,
has
that's what I
connection,
was
but I
gonna say.
think being in that realm
Yeah.
would have murkied a lot of waters. So I do think it's fair. But I don't think they would have done that with just like I don't think it no one was gonna do that with Brian Kelly. Like,
Yeah.
like he wasn't a
If he left,
threat.
they was like, okay.
Like, yeah.
We can stay, like, especially if we weren't in the bowl, like everyone knew the
Yes.
bowl we ended up again. Yeah. Um, so I hear what you're saying. I think regardless, those players were going to leave. So the transfer portal is open and it stays open for a little bit. So these players obviously may not be announcing now because they're in the playoffs. So I think if they're going to leave, they're going to leave and come with him. I think it also, if these guys do well, because half of them are coming to LSU, like these guys that are coaching right now,
Yeah.
um, if they win the thing, I'm going with them. Even if you're like
It's
offensive
true.
coordinator or because you won something without Lane. I do think like they're probably still talking to Lane, because
Oh, absolutely.
they're technically hired at LSU and finishing this off, so they're still like could be recruiting in a way. So they're talking to their coach, their boss.
Yeah.
I would think unless you're not allowed to. I don't know. I feel like
That's
they're
what I was like.
talking
I
to
think
them.
that there's just
Yeah,
murkiness that
yeah.
they probably just wanted to avoid. Like,
And but I think like too, if they lose, like Miami's giving a run for their money. Like Miami is tough. Could Lane have beat them? Like even though this guy was under Lane, he also learned from Coach Saban. Could he? Could Lane have done a better job? I feel like for those players and for Lane, me just being on the fair side and stuff, not thinking of the business or like what's going to happen the year after. I feel like you should have let him finish. But obviously, that's
I
like
think so
me
too. Like
being
I think
nice,
like
but
the
I'm not a
fan
business
in
person.
me,
Yeah,
like the fan in me, like the Disney movie in me is
yeah,
like, oh, let him finish it
yeah,
out. Like, and I do think again, I think it's because it's Lane. I think it's because it's Lane Kiffin. I think they were
yeah,
like, you did all this shit for the last like week that you were here. I think it's personal. I think it's
Yeah.
personal. That's
I
like me.
think
I
he
think there is like a
did.
little politics involved. Like we're not gonna let you
Yeah.
do it.
Well, and that he
Yeah.
didn't choose them, but kind of what you were saying, the breakup, you as Ole Miss knows that LSU had way more to offer. City wise, market wise,
Market wise, like
everything. Like, why would you not choose
yeah.
LSU? You
And
know
I
what I
think that
mean?
that's what they did. I think that that was just kind of the. I think
No
that
matter
was
what
the
you
one
offered
place that they
him.
could hurt him. I think
Yeah.
that was the one, like, not that you can hurt him, but like, I think that was the
Yeah.
one thing that they could feel like they won something
Yeah. Because they
in the
couldn't
deal.
offer, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's that too, like we have control over this.
Yes. Like, yeah.
So no, you're not playing.
Yeah.
Or no, you're not coaching.
And
So
then I think he just has really good lawyers to be like, fine, well, I'm still going to win if y'all do well anyway. So,
right, because like you're sitting at home and every time they win, you're getting a check. Like
like, give it.
it might
Yeah.
stop today, but still you got 500,000 from that
Yeah.
last win. So okay,
He's
so
fine.
going into our next, that's a quick kind of wrap up of like the stories that have happened this week. There's so much that has
See
happened
her.
over the last couple of months, but this kind of sums up like what's important now. And we're going into wild card. So pay attention starting tomorrow. We have some good games. The Lions and the Bears, I think, play.
Oh, my.
And Seattle, no, not Seattle. So Seattle and Broncos have they're the number one seed, so they wait till the next round for the divisional. We'll put up the um the schedule, but the Buffalo and Jackson play on Sunday, and then the Rams and the Panthers play, and the Packers in Chicago play tomorrow. So if your team's
This is
still in it.
wild, like some matchups here. We got the, but yeah.
I know my teams are out. I'm going for Caleb. I find my quarterback, so I'm going for the Bears right now. Caleb Williams. Um, but we'll see. I
I'm
mean,
back
your
with my
49ers are
Broncos.
still in,
I'm back with my
and your
Broncos.
Broncos, yeah. Oh yeah,
My
you're back to
Broncos
the
are back, and
Broncos.
I'm like, you know what? Okay, okay, Bo Nix. I
But you
can get with
still
this.
for Purdy though, right?
What?
You're for Purdy still, right?
Yes.
Because he's still in it.
He's my NFC pick.
Yeah.
He's my NFC.
So
Oh my god, that pained me the other night. Just watch it.
yeah, there was some good games. So I hope we have good wild card games like we did last season, because we had some good games in the
I have been
playoffs.
chasing, this is like my sports theory, like sports nerd in me. I have been chasing the high of wild card year that of Super Bowl 42 with because we had Brett Favre, we had Eli Manning, we had Peyton Manning, we had Tom Brady, we had like all of this, and like I feel like there was just a high of wild card year that I was like I have been chasing that high for wild card week like since, and I feel like this year could be it. I feel like with all these like because of the year we had because no one stood out as like the clear winner like all see like we've
I
had for
know.
the Chiefs this whole like there's never been this like oh so I do feel like there's a lot of potential for wild card this year that I'm like who's it going to be who's it
Yeah.
going to be the magic so
So
I
that's
do
why
want the 49ers to be my little I don't know that you ever since
that's
you
a
told me that
blow.
statistic about the Seahawks and the Pope I'm getting
Yes.
pissed because I'm like
So
I don't want to watch Purdy lose again I don't like watching him lose.
so for our glow up, this section we went right into it is who do we see glowing up this season or this wild card playoff seasons. So what Meredith is talking about, there was also a meme going around that Seattle Seahawks, who are number one seed, they do not have to play until the divisional round, so they get a bye this week. Um, the last time that they won the Super Bowl, we got a new pope. So we got a new pope this football season. So it happened in 2025. We're still in this football season, football year. The last couple of times we got new popes, and we don't get them, every year or every 4 years. It's a while, but the last few times we got popes, the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl. So, if that sticks, Seattle should be winning the Super Bowl. But, this last game, the Steelers brought out their priest to bless the field and they won.
That was
So,
wild. Oh God, we're
so
gonna have like religion. We're gonna have Catholics and just yeah.
right. So, who is your glow up for this weekend that you see maybe shocking us. So I'm gonna go through our schedule for this weekend. Saturday. So we have a game Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So we have the Rams versus Carolina. We have the Green Bay versus Chicago. We have the Bills versus the Jaguars. We have San Francisco 49ers versus the Eagles. And we have the Chargers versus the Patriots. And then on Monday, we have Texans versus the Steelers. Any of those do you see as a glow up surprise coming through that we would have never thought would be in
Well,
these
like
games?
normally I feel like if you put the Eagles against 49ers, and I don't know who's gonna do that one. That one makes me nervous too.
That should be a good game.
I know.
That
I'm
one
gonna
should.
have I'm strange for someone who doesn't really have any dog in the fight. I feel like I'm gonna be pretty upset. Something's gonna happen to me this year. Something's gonna happen to me
Well,
this week.
because yeah,
But
your 49ers have a tough one. Your Broncos get to wait, so you get to be cool with them until next
but like I
year.
also still like I obviously want Josh Allen over Trevor for the Jaguars. I
And
don't care about
Travis
them.
Hunter's not playing. I think he's still out.
Yeah, he is out for the year. But
Hmm.
I'm sorry, and I will be honest, guys. I've been dealing with the transition of moving to a new city and trying to keep my head above water. That I haven't watched many games. That I am looking at some of these records, and I'm like, oh, that like I didn't realize that Jaguars had a better record than the Bills.
Hmm.
And like I kind of I'm with you. I'm kind of liking the Bears. I'm kind of liking what they've done this year. I'm kind of liking the
They played
coach taking his
well.
shirt off. I'm kind of liking the like, oh, what can we do here? I know this is a long shot, but I wouldn't be mad if the Panthers beat the Rams. Because anytime you can get me Matt Stafford out, I'm your girl.
My dad
So
would be so mad at that. He's a Rams fan. But
I and
yeah.
honestly,
And who
I
would have thought
think,
the
but
Panthers?
they beat Joe in the Super Bowl, and I just like I feel like I have to wait 5 years before I ever give them the chance. Like I have to like wait some time,
But
and
that
then
the Panthers have a their ranked number, they're 4 seed versus the Rams are 5. But I wouldn't have thought the Panthers would even be here, honestly. So that would to me be a shocker because you haven't really heard of the heard
yeah,
about the Panthers. No one
that was
talks about.
another thing. I was very surprised Detroit didn't make it this year.
Yes,
They were a mess. But yeah, I
I
think
think Chicago knocked them out during that last.
they didn't have a
That
good
was
year.
it.
So I'm kind of with the Bears. I want my 49ers and Bills. The Texans Steelers game is going to be very interesting to me because I feel like those were both hanging by a thread franchises um, in different ways
Hmm.
that I think I could see. Y'all, I know it just I know they have the priests, but I'm not cheering for Aaron Rodgers. Um,
The only
I
thing is
also
I
think
liked Mike Tomlinson though.
I kind of also, and I never thought I would say this sentence, what is about to come out of my mouth. But I'm kind of impressed that the Patriots are back.
I was like the Patriots.
Yes. I'm very surprised. And I'm not hating it because it gives you that little 2008, like that time and period. And I don't completely hate Drake. I don't hate him. So like again, if you show
Right.
this to me in 3 years and they've dominated the AFC, I'm going to be mad. But like, I'm kind of welcome them back. Like if that was the thing, like if we had to lose the Chiefs and I got the Broncos and the Patriots back, like Manning versus Brady, like era again, I'm happy. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of glad that they're back.
Yeah. I
Gives you
don't.
like that
Well,
warm fuzzy feeling, like that's how the AFC should be,
I know we don't
unless
have
Joe
everyone.
Burrow's there.
We haven't
Unless
had
Joe Burrow's
anyone that we're used to in a while. So to see like back
Yes.
in the day when we knew players,
Like nostalgia. Like,
the players
oh.
we grew up with, those teams are back. Except for
Yes.
I don't like that Sean Payton is there, but hey,
I honestly am pretty happy that he's getting it right because
well we're
he and
suffering.
Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
that was a bad little thing for a while. And I was like, and as someone who loves John Elway,
That
I'm like, y'all need to clean this up. Like, I don't know
that
who
yeah,
needs to go.
kind of very messy to
Do you remember that? Yeah.
keep
Like
that
I'm
in
just like
house
y'all need
too.
to.
Yeah.
Speaking of like some Colts people need to go in there and be like,
Like,
it's,
hello, this is a business. Like, it doesn't care if you
yes,
don't like each other. Get the work done, and then
yes,
you don't have to hang out.
exactly. Yes.
So that's what we're looking at. Those are our glow ups. So we're looking at the Bears, who we'd like
I
to
don't think I
see
really
come
answered
out.
that, but yeah, Patriots and Bears.
Yeah, she's not even gonna touch Purdy because that's a tough one. Hopefully, she'll
Oh,
be fine.
sorry.
But she,
Seattle just really got to him last week, and I'm just like, I can't watch.
that
I
was
cannot watch quarterbacks just get sacked unless it's Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. Like there are some that I'm like, oh, I could watch this every day. And Purdy, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Like I
that's
don't like my
not.
quarterbacks touched.
Yeah, that's not what I was expecting from that weekend, from that game. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I guess that's why Seattle is number one.
Yeah.
Coming in. So, okay. So, as we wrap up, extra inning inspiration. So, this is where touching stories outside of the field, kind of where we're talking beyond the game, things that are happening, the good side of sports, or something exciting. We know there's a lot that revolves around sports that's not necessarily on the field and stuff. And so just kind of highlighting that and how sports touch everything. What kind of, or um, what's grabbed your attention, pulled your heart, or, you know, your
Um,
pity?
I don't. You go first.
Well, I will say I thought it was cute. I love so everyone knows I don't like LeBron as a player, except for obviously when he's playing it for the Lakers. But I love him as a human being and a father and a father and and a husband and his entrepreneur stuff. But I thought it was so cute. His last game, not his last game, 2 games ago, he let his daughter dress him. Like she asked him, "Can I dress you for the game?" Because you know fashion is a thing in sports now, and we wait to see what the player is wearing coming into the tunnel, coming for game day, coming in for the game. And so she got to pick out his little outfit, and I bet that just warmed her little heart because when he got asked, "Who dressed you?" and he was like, "My little daughter Zuri." Like she asked if she could dress me, and I said, "Sure, on Sunday." And see, that's what makes him a great dad. Like he didn't even bat his eye. Was like, "Yeah, Sunday you could dress me." So that was something that kind of tugged my heart. I was like, "Oh, that's so cute."
Oh, I do like that.
So
I don't
yeah,
feel like I know. I'm looking at Sports-ish right now, and sorry, I always just like. Sorry, this is. It's not like
but
it's such
this
a
one's
single
heavy.
girl thick situation. It's
But
Sports-ish because
this
it's
heavy
Joe
on the
Burrow. Like, put his hair, there's hair. It's like all the '90s heartthrobs that he looks like,
he does
and I
bring
feel
back
like
that, even though
that's
he's
what gets me.
young.
I'm telling, like that's all. Like as a single girl, I'm like that's really probably all a man would have to do for me to notice him in a bar is just do that with his hair, and I'd be like, so
Joey.
like it'd be
Well,
that.
no, we were
I always
talking.
joke it's like the hair and like this is it's so like off topic, but like I love it when guys like roll up their sleeves, like they're like but like their office shirts. And like I feel like it's the equivalent of like when women showed their ankles like in the 18th century or something. I just love when men do that. And so I just feel like anytime and
There's the.
like again, y'all just know I love Joey B. It just says that hair like that's what's getting me through this year.
She can't see him on the field, but we can see that hair
Shows
flip.
me his wrist and he shows me his hair.
The little things that get us.
I really hope that's the
But
clip right there.
you were mentioning, and this is the WNBA.
Yes,
It's
sorry,
not
yeah, that's
season,
probably
but
they're
we
bringing on
do
the
have.
fashion.
Yeah, we have unrivaled season has started. So that's what Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier created a year ago. So I think this is the second season. But a lot of women have invested in it. A lot of companies have invested in it. And they're doing great. And so their season just started. And so we were talking about the fashion because, again, fashion is a part of sports now, bringing that in. So check that out on Instagram. Follow Unrival, follow the teams to see what those ladies are rocking.
Yeah,
And
because
this
my girl
gives us,
Paige, and then
yeah, she's
Paige
playing this
there,
season.
and then isn't oh, he's the pretty girl, the your girl. She's in LA. Why
Oh,
am I
Rakia?
blanking? No. Yeah. Oh, her too.
Oh,
Why am I blanking? Cameron Diaz
oh,
looking.
yeah. Cameron Brink.
Can't. I was like, why is it? Yeah.
Cameron Diaz. No, yeah, when you said, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, Cameron Diaz. Yeah, so I'm excited, and I always like that. That's like the intro into WNBA, like kind of getting us ready for that. So I think that gives them that highlight that they deserve because
Well, and it also keeps them home because that was part of the thing of
yes,
getting bringing more money to the women, but also being able to keep them home to play and not have to go overseas during off season. Um, and just it's not necessarily a good thing, but they're still going through their CBA contract WNBA players with the WNBA, trying to get what they're deserve. Um, so it's another good thing that like this is starting. They're still able to play and earn and be on American soil doing it in front of fans and family and stuff. So be sure to tune into those games, support, watch. I think they're on TBS or TNT. They had a TV deal, so it's on cable, so you can watch that. But thank you for jumping in and sharing and getting us excited
yes,
for. I know I'm excited for the weekend, finishing up this Miami game because we have college football
but don't cry.
happening. Yeah. But then we have the NFL happening, and it's been some good games because, again, my teams have been out, but like last week with the Steelers and the Ravens, like staying up late, like, let me see how this ends because they are very close and good. So be sure to tune in. Super Bowl is happening February 8th. Mark your calendars for that. No matter what team, I hope it will be a good game, but still, it's the Super Bowl. Like, you got commercials, halftime, we got Bad Bunny, like a statement being made, I feel, especially now, the way these last couple of days have been going. So I'm excited for that. Um, but yeah, we will be back. I'm not going
We
to
will
say
be back.
when, but we are bringing ourselves back. But we did just want to jump in
We
to get,
are always pretty good about doing it around this time. It's
yeah,
always like the end of the year that we're just like, oh shoot.
yeah. I
So
know
we'll do
that
our best.
November to the January 1st is really, really tough. So we're working on that, but I appreciate this community, people tuning in, people following sports and Mimosa, attending events, helping us build this and just wanting to talk sports with us. I mean, me and Meredith can talk all day about it, but we love that others are
We love
willing
that
to
there are
listen and
others.
want to learn with us and chat with us. So but yes, thank you. Be sure to subscribe, follow us on social media, and be on the lookout for the next episode. And be sure to watch some football this weekend. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.